experience as president of the Rotary Club of Tucson?
Well, first of all, I guess the thing that most surprised me was that I was asked to be president. I had no thoughts ahead of time that I'd be asked to do this job. But then, and I was a little nervous about it because I don't like speaking in front of large groups. But my husband talked me into it, and I'm so happy that I took on the challenge. I felt I grew as a person. I made lifelong friendships in Rotary, and gave me a chance to put my touch on the club.
And what might have been your most embarrassing moment?
Well, as I said, I'm kind of nervous about talking in front of groups. In my very first meeting, I was all prepared. I had everything all set to go. I had met with the ED. The current ED was Mary Lofbaum, and I came 45 minutes prior to the meeting, and I waited, and Mary didn't come. Mary didn't come. Our assistant, she was on vacation, so it was just Mary. I think probably about 15 minutes before the meeting was to start, she still hadn't come, and we got a phone call that Mary was on her way to the hospital in an ambulance with a medical emergency. Here we were, no projector, no registration desk things, nothing. I couldn't believe how everybody stepped in. One person did one thing, another person went to the office and got everything, and I don't know how we did it, but we started the meeting on time. It was a miracle.
What issues were there during your year?
Probably our most challenging issue was an international project that we had started prior to my year. We'd been working on a wheelchair factory in Nogales, Mexico, and it was to employ handicapped people to build all-terrain wheelchairs for their terrible terrain in Mexico. And we soon found out that it's very difficult to deal over the border, and even more difficult when you go to them rather than them coming to you. So Jim Lubinsky and Bob Logan, and then member Jeff Abbott, who spoke very fluent Spanish, which helped. They worked their way through it, and we finished the project and turned it over to the people to run it, and it's still running to this day. Advice to an incoming president. I have a few little things that are my personal things. Use the skills best suited to you. Don't try to do what somebody else did. Do what you do best. And that's what makes it so interesting every year. Every president's different. They all have different personalities, and they all have different strengths and weaknesses. So play on your own strengths and go ahead with that. Lead, but don't micromanage. Get to know all your members in the club and call them by name as best you can. They're the ones who make you successful as a president. And if they like what you do and they feel like they're being appreciated, they're going to work even harder to make your year a better. Has a mentor who is the second president removed from your year. So 2 years prior to my year was Charlotte Harris, and I was probably the luckiest president ever because she was my wonderful mentor and guided me through my whole year. And of course, every past president in the club is ready to help you. They have lots of advice, of course, but they're also there if you have a problem and you need help with something, and they're your biggest cheerleader. You'll get letters from members, you'll get phone calls, lots of things that encourage you to continue what you're doing. Very little criticism. It'll be kind criticism if you get it, but listen to everything they say, because everything is helpful to make you a better president. Being in this club has provided me lifelong friendships and experience of a lifetime.